Honey, do you mind if I bring in a rotted, muddy door from the junkyard and work on it in the living room?
Oh yeah, that's right. I don't have a wife or live-in girlfriend. I can do whatever I want. Let's get started. Ever since the guy that worked at the liquor store ran a red light in, I don't know, 1996, 97 and wiped out the driver's side of my Impala, the driver's window hasn't worked very well. And so I thought I would go take care of that today. Probably won't work on it today, but I procured some parts for it. It's hot out. Heat index about 97 degrees right now, so I don't know when I'll work on this, but here's what we got. I guess for clarification's sake, I'll say I don't have a girlfriend at all. But what we gotta do is get this window regulator out of this door. I didn't really need to bring this inside anymore because it's beautiful out today, mid-70s, 80 maybe. But I figured I wouldn't ruin a good joke. My opening line there. So I brought her in here. Never done this before. Watched the YouTube video. Basically just gonna disassemble this whole thing. How's that? Come off yet? Alright, going well so far. Now it's a 62 Chevy, so I can mostly take the whole thing apart with a 1/2 inch, 9/16 and then 5/8. Here and there, a larger bolt will be in the car. But I brought in a 1/2 and 9/16 from the garage. And I understand first you have to take out the wing window stuff. And this appears to instantly prove wrong what I was just saying, because these bolts appear to be 7/16. Let me see if I got one of those. So never mind that, what I just said. That's how it goes. There we go. 7/16. Put this 1/2 inch over here so I'll never see it again. No, maybe I'll lay it there. And I PB blasted all this out while I was outside, so it's been soaking in the sun a couple days. Probably should get a baggie to put this stuff in. I don't know if I'll have to reuse it. I know on mine there's a spring in this handle here, if you can see it, and that's gone on mine, so my window handle is kind of floppy. Anyway, so maybe we'll use that spring. Oop. So I think I'll go grab a baggie to put all this stuff in. Like I was saying, unfortunately, the track thing that the window sets in was that rotten piece that was in here. Hey. So I immediately pulled out this rotten piece of window regulator thing out of the door, but so that doesn't make any sense because the window rolls up and down. So that's a bummer. I was gonna say the window rolls down, up and down really well, but apparently it doesn't when it's setting horizontally. So quit messing with that because I don't want to break anything. Let me go grab a baggie. All right, so I don't know. I'll probably take off this handle. I have that tool. It's up at Jeff's, so I just bought another one instead of digging it out of my Dakota. That's under 1/2 ton of brush from the derecho that happened 1 year ago yesterday, I think it was. So I'll just take out all this stuff here, all those bolts, and we'll see what happened. I'll find that tool. As there's a clip up under the thing, and you slide that tool in there and push the clip out. You don't necessarily need that. You can mess around with screwdrivers and stuff trying to get that clip out, but I should have spent it was probably $1 or $2 back in high school, which I should have bought and saved myself a lot of frustration back then, but I didn't. So I got this up at one of the local parts stores. I went in and said, hey, do you have a window handle removal tool? And the guy, of course, looked at me like I was on crack. So he showed me some trim removal tool. I'm like, no, it's right here on the shelf next to that. It says window handle removal tool on it. A little different than the one I have up at Jeff's. So we'll get it open, see if we can get in here. Okay, that's a bit of a bugger up in there to get out, but that's what the clip looks like. And found the handle. It sets in that groove in the handle. If you can see it in there. That groove there. So I did have to get I used a fork. You might be able to use a little J hook or something to bolt the rest of the way out once you push it out with that tool. So we will continue to take this stuff all off. And get you set back up on the tripod over here. And I could have turned the light on for you. Oh, let's see here. Sticking with 7/16 on these little ones. Oh, and these clips, they're hard to find, so keep them. Unless you want to buy in bulk. Glad I sprayed all this stuff down. It's coming out pretty simple. I've never seen this plastic deal before. It's of course destroyed. And now it fell inside the door, so we'll never see that again. So it looks like I got all the 7/16 out. Those look like 9/16 to me. Probably be 5/8. Nope. They halves? Yep, halves. There's a halves come in. Feel free to comment if I'm doing this wrong. Like I said, I've never done it before. There's a washer. But yeah, I would just leave everything you take off here in case you need it. These kind of lock washer things, I don't know. Who knows if my car has those on it. If I did any work on it in my teens, I probably tossed them or lost them and just didn't put them back in. And that one could use some more PV blaster. I missed one 7/16 bolt over here. So now I think this is the regulator to the wing window. I think when I pull this out, it's just gonna fall in there, or not. There's another bolt in here. Oops, it's not good. I don't know if I'll have to take that out or not. But as far as this wing window, do I have to take this off somehow? I gotta get that off somehow to get the top part of that off. Well, that was super easy, barely an inconvenience. So that should all come out now. down here at the bottom was a stud, not a bolt. Just a stud, so you gotta get that pushed down in there to where it won't pop back out. So you should be able to pull that thing out. Or we're gonna yep, I guess we'll take out that last bolt that I didn't see, so didn't get any PB blaster, but it seems to be coming out. What is still holding this? Oh, the little turny deal for the window. Let me work on this. Pulling that out of there. We'll come back when I've struggled getting that out of there. Alright, you just gotta twist that around and stuff until you can get it out of there. I'm gonna try to take the actual window out now. But there's a bolt I did not PB blast down in there. So I'll let you know if it comes off or if we're done for the day. Okay, so that bolt came out. I don't know what I did with it. Find that in a minute, but this came out with it. It is your window stop, and I would also like to fix that on my car because when it got wrecked, whoever put the window back in, it wasn't me, it's out at the body shop. They didn't put this in properly, the window stop, and it rolls up too far, so that's been annoying for 25 years. Let's pull this window out. See if I can set you back up here. Kind of see. So far, even though I'm panting, it hasn't been that bad. Well, I thought that was how to get it out of there. Is there another one in there that, or is it just not sliding because it's been stuck in there for 62 years? Oh boy, there's a screw in there, guys. Yeah, that might end it for the day because we're gonna have to WD that and let that soak. Or PB blast, whichever. Croil, whatever your preference is. Now the other side is rotted off, so that should not be an issue. Okay, so unbelievably that came out. I don't know what I did with my bag. Oh, here it is. So we got that piece. And then, sorry guys, the very bottom of the window, there's supposed to be a metal piece that window sets in, and the front's supposed to have a piece that looks similar to the one in the back. So what I'm gonna have to do is take my window that's in the car out, which it's not cracked, it's a perfectly fine window, and figure out what product and material I need to get it to set back in the channel. I was hoping that this was complete. I would just use this window in my car and it would be setting in the channel and I wouldn't have to do a bunch of screwing around. But that's not the case, because this is Uncle JoJo's house and that's how it goes. So I'll set this off to the side. Try not to break that. I might need it in case I break the window that's in the car. So now we got to figure out what all bolts we have to take out for this regulator to get out of there. It's pretty much just, oh, hey, here's that bolt from the window that I couldn't find. I think that's pretty much just all the bolts that are left. There's one here that feels like it's hooked to the regulator. A couple over here. I'll probably take all this door handle stuff off too. I'm just kind of deconstructing the whole door. We got to get that off too. Let's do that first. Just got to kind of look in there and see where the back of the little clip thing is. Then you push on it. And that one came off a lot easier than the top one. I'm going to try to save the spring in this little plastic thing because I know my door hasn't had that in a long, long time. I'll save those, get that out. So that's pretty neat, you know. If I was just using a screwdriver, I'd be in there for an hour trying to push that clip around. So that was a pretty good buy. It was $9. The ones at Harbor Freight are like $7, but I don't have a Harbor Freight here where I live. I would have to drive 40 miles and an 80-mile round trip to save $2. Yeah, just wasn't in the cards for me. Well, that bolt broke off, but it's not going to be in the way, so that's good. And this, I think, I don't know, we'll just take them all out. Gonna take a whole door apart anyway. I'm assuming all these bolts are similar, so they don't have to go exactly where I took them out. So it might be shorter or longer. Just remember the ones with these little lock washers on them, or whatever they are. The washers with little spiny things on it. They went on the regulator. Well, the regulator's out. Now, I think I'm just gonna see if I can take this stuff off too. Just so it's maybe not in the way. There's a little clip on the hook or the rod for the door handle. That's the kind of stuff that you want to keep because you don't know if you're gonna be able to find that again. So we'll just try to get that off. Came off. The rod come out. Oh, there we go. That's pretty junked. I'll pin it up. It's no use unless somebody really, really is desperate for one. Okay, so that's all out of the way. Maybe if I can get the rod out of the other side. That's all screws. I don't mess with that. Let's see. Okay, so we'll see if we can get that out of there. not a whole lot of room. I assume it's gonna have to come out this big hole. And that came out a lot easier than I was expecting. Now I assume on mine the back roller broke on mine, but you can just buy a roller. So I might try that first and then just have this for extra, but just even getting that, I'm still gonna have to take the regulator out of it just to even get to that roller. So that's a part. Set that off to the side. This door handle is pretty junk too. It might polish up. Excuse me. Sorry. Put that in our junk bag there. I don't know. I didn't spray these. I'd like to get this door closer mechanism out. I didn't spray any of that stuff, so I'm going to take this back outside, spray that down, and then we'll have a part 2, because this is really long. And part 2, should I take my door off and bring it inside so I can mess around with it and move the door all around up and down? That might be convenient. So I'll think about doing that. It's not like it's got a bunch of electronics in it like modern doors, you know. It's just probably 4 bolts, 6 bolts, 8 bolts, and hole her in here and mess around with it. Guess it depends on how I feel about doing that, if I want to try to get that back on. Thanks for watching, and we'll try to do less destruction next time and more constructive. You know what I'm talking about. Later.